What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, coming to you with a quick video on Tyson Chandler going to the Suns. I seen earlier today that he had signed a deal with them. It's a good pickup for them, but the key to this is like they can develop Alex Len, who showed potential as a defensive anchor, and he showed potential as a player. They didn't utilize him right. They didn't give him enough touches, so he wasn't going to be able to develop. But this is a win more pickup in the free agency for the Phoenix Suns. With this pickup, it allows them to compete for a playoff spot. They've been close the last 2 years, but they really wasn't known for their defense. Adding Tyson Chandler helps Eric Bledsoe, who's a decent defender, but got potential to be a better one. And Tyson Chandler can help him be a better defender on the perimeter. And like I said, with Alex Len, who's still developing, and he's probably their future center. He showed potentials and glimpses of post-game shooting touch and rim protection. Now you add Tyson Chandler, who can help take his defensive abilities to the next level in the future. And they got him on a decent contract. They got him for 4 years, but I'm paying him a respectable amount every season. I like this pickup for the Suns. I think it does help them get into the playoffs better. But they got to find some type of chemistry with Eric Bledsoe and Brandon Knight. They didn't really play that well last year together when they got the trade. They went terrible. And it's just because they two different players. Like Goran Dragic was a point guard that can shoot real good, but he also can finish good. He also can get to the free throw line, and he was efficient. Brandon Knight just likes to take a lot of shots and got bad shot selection, but they gave him $70 million. So they gave him a lot of money to invest in that backcourt of Brandon Knight and Eric Bledsoe. And we're going to see if it pays off. I'm not too high on the two-point guard lineup. It hasn't really worked for them because they haven't made the playoffs. And Goran Dragic is, to me, a significantly better player than Brandon Knight. But he has high potential to become a better player. And we're going to see if Jeff Hornacek can get the best out of Brandon Knight with this signing. Can he develop into a two-way player? Because Brandon Knight is a good size point guard, but he's playing a two, but he's athletic, he's mobile, and got good hands. So we're going to see if he actually can be a good defensive shooting guard, and can he stay consistent? He played well for the Bucks, but he tailed off in Phoenix. Then he was hiding off. He was inconsistent since going to Phoenix. But Tyson Chandler going to add a ferocious rebounder, a rim protector, pick and roll coverage for Eric Bledsoe, just in case he make mistakes because he like to gamble. This helps them a whole lot. I can see them taking a 7th or an 8th seed next year, but they need one more piece. I don't think Brandon Knight, Eric Bledsoe, Markieff, and Tyson Chandler is guaranteed playoff players on the same team. I got to see them add one more piece, whether it's for the bench or I think they got to add more to the bench and see if they're going to keep Gerald Green to come as a spark or they're going to let him go, because they need more on the bench and they need more better offense because they take too many isolation, stagnant plays. I think this trade helps them offensively and defensively, but we're going to have to see how they fill out the roster and how they play out with the offense, because that offense is just too stagnant. It's going to be hard for them to win 48 games with the ball movement they have and the isolation plays. They got to up the playbook, and they added a new weapon, and he's significantly better than Alex Len. So maybe that should guarantee him a playoff spot, but they in the West. The Pelicans going to need a spot. OKC didn't even make the playoffs this year. And not forget Utah Jazz. They dominated the second half of the season. So you got 3 potential young teams that's on the rise that made the playoffs and did make the playoffs. So it's going to be tough for the Phoenix Suns to get one of those spots, the 7th or the 8th. But they got the right building blocks right now. They got a bright future in the future, but they still need to add some more pieces to this core to make a run. Because you honestly don't want to be an 8th seed and out every year. They eventually going to have to put another piece on this roster to compete for a championship. Because right now, with the roster design, how they got right now, they destined for mediocrity. I know I'm going to get a lot of dislikes for it. But with Brandon Knight, Eric Bledsoe, and Tyson Chandler only going to be healthy more, he always had injury problems. And on top of that, you got him for 4 years. You're going to have to put another piece unless you're going to be mediocre. A 6, 7, or 8 team in the West is not what you want as a team and as a fan. You want a team that can go out there and have a chance for a championship. So they definitely need another piece at the power forward position or the small forward position to take them over the edge. Now, if they got LaMarcus Aldridge, I can see them competing for a championship. But if they don't get him and they can't find another player to fill that power forward, that small forward position, they're going to be a ninth or 10th team in the West, and the highest is 7th. And that's not where you want to be, because you rather get a lottery pick than be a 7 team in the West and might not even make the playoffs next year. So y'all got to think about that as Phoenix fans. Do you want to make the playoffs, or do you want to get another piece in the draft? Or do you want to make the playoffs, get the experience, but there's no guarantee that you're going to be in the playoffs next year? So the Phoenix Suns, y'all got to think about that with these picks and these players. How are y'all going to put the roster together to go from, okay, we good, to, okay, we a contender? And that's a question for the Phoenix Suns fan and the organization. What pieces do they need to move, and what they need to make this roster so it can be a mediocre team like they've been in the last 2 years into a team that can actually win a championship? Let me know what you guys think. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis signing out. And feel free to check out my older videos. If you like this video, like my older videos, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you don't like the video, comment, and we can talk about it. Whatever you don't like, just comment. I respond to every comment.